I can still hear him, 77 years, and I can still hear him calling my name. Every night when I close my eyes, sometimes during the day when it gets quiet, his voice screaming for me, "Don't leave me here, please, please don't leave me." And I left him. I left my best friend lying in the mud with a hole in his stomach, and I ran. I saved myself, and he died alone. His name was Joseph Brennan, Joey. We grew up together, enlisted together, swore we'd look out for each other, no matter what. And when it mattered, when it really mattered, I left him to die. I'm 95 years old. I've had a good life. A wife, children, grandchildren. I've been happy, and I don't deserve any of it, because Joey never got any of that. Joey died screaming my name in a field in France, and I've never told anyone the truth about what happened that day. His family thinks he died a hero. They don't know I could have saved him. They don't know I ran, but I know. Joey and I grew up on the same street in Brooklyn. Our mothers were friends. We learned to ride bikes together, got in trouble together, chased the same girls. He was the brave one, always. I was the one who hesitated, who thought too much. Joey just did things. Jumped off the high dive first, threw the first punch when someone needed punching. He wasn't reckless. He just wasn't afraid. Or if he was, he never showed it. When the war started, we talked about enlisting like it was an adventure, like it was something we'd do together and come back with stories to tell. We were 18. We didn't know anything. Joey's mother made us promise to look out for each other. She held both our hands and made us swear. "You bring each other home," she said. "You hear me? You bring each other home." I looked her in the eye, and I promised. We shipped out in the spring of '44. Basic training, then England, then the boats to Normandy. We weren't in the first wave, came in a few weeks after D-Day, but it was bad enough. Bodies still washing up, wreckage everywhere. Joey kept my spirits up. That's who he was. When I couldn't sleep, he talked to me about what we'd do when we got home. Open a bar together, maybe. Marry a couple of sisters, so we'd be family for real. Stupid kid stuff, but it helped. He was my brother, not by blood, but in every way that mattered. I would have done anything for him. At least, that's what I thought. The first few weeks weren't so bad. We were behind the lines mostly, moving supplies, digging trenches, waiting. A lot of waiting. Then they moved us up. I remember the first time I heard artillery up close. Not in the distance. Close. The ground shakes. Your teeth rattle. You can feel it in your chest, like your heart's being squeezed. And you realize this is real. This is actually happening. We lost our first man on a road outside some village I can't remember the name of. Landmine. One second he's there, the next, I don't want to describe it. His name was Kowalski. He was from Chicago. He had a funny laugh. That's what I remember about him. His laugh. After that, it just kept going. Day after day. Men you knew. Men you'd eaten breakfast with. Gone. And you couldn't stop to grieve because there wasn't time. There was never time. Joey kept me together. When I froze up, he'd grab my arm. Stay with me, he'd say. Just stay with me. And I would, because he was there. Because I wasn't alone. We moved through hedgerow country, Normandy. If you've never seen it, you can't understand. These walls of brush and dirt, 10 feet high, you can't see anything. The enemy could be 5 feet away, and you wouldn't know until it was too late. Every day, I thought we were going to die. Every single day. And every night, Joey would find me, and we'd sit together and not say much. Just be there. Knowing someone had your back. That was everything. I told myself I'd do the same for him. Whatever happened, I wouldn't leave him behind. I believed it. I really did. It was August. A field somewhere outside St. Lo. We were advancing, taking fire from a tree line maybe 200 yards out. Machine guns, mortars. The order came to push forward, across open ground. No cover, just run and hope. Joey was ahead of me. A few steps. I could see his back, and then he went down. I didn't hear the shot that hit him. There was too much noise. But I saw him fall, face first into the dirt. And then he started screaming. I hit the ground, crawled toward him. The bullets were everywhere. You could hear them snapping past, hitting the dirt around you. I've never been so scared in my life, before or since. I got to him, and I rolled him over, and God, his stomach, I could see inside him. He was holding his hands over it, but there was so much blood, so much. He grabbed my arm. His grip was so strong. And he looked at me and said, "Don't leave me here. Please, Tommy, please don't leave me here." I tried to lift him. I got my arms under him, and I tried. But he was screaming. The pain. I was hurting him. And the bullets kept coming. I could hear them hitting the ground right next to us. And I looked at that tree line. 200 yards of open ground. No cover. Carrying a man who couldn't walk. I knew we wouldn't make it. Both of us would die. So I made a choice. I said, I'll get help. I'll come back with a medic. Just hold on, Joey. Hold on. And he looked at me. He knew. I could see it in his eyes. He knew I was lying. "Don't leave me," he said. "Please, Tommy, please." I pulled his hands off my arm, and I ran. I ran, and I didn't look back. I could hear him screaming my name, screaming and screaming, and I kept running. By the time we took that tree line, by the time I found a medic and went back, he was gone, bled out in that field, alone. I left him. I left him to die alone, and I've never forgiven myself. The rest of the war is a blur. I don't remember much. I think I stopped feeling things, stopped being a person, just a body moving from place to place, doing what I was told. We pushed through France, into Germany. The war ended. Everyone went home. I went home. Joey didn't. His mother was at the station when I got back. She was there with my mother. And when she saw me step off that train alone, her face, I'll never forget her face. She knew before I said a word. She grabbed my hands, the same hands that had pulled Joey's fingers off my arm. And she said, "What happened? Please, tell me what happened to my boy." And I lied. I told her he died brave. I told her it was quick. I told her I was with him at the end, and he wasn't in pain. I told her he said he loved her. None of it was true. He died screaming. He died in agony. He died calling my name while I ran away. But I couldn't tell her that. I couldn't. She hugged me and thanked me. Thanked me for being there with him. Thanked me for being his friend. I went home and I threw up. And then I drank until I passed out. And I did that every night for a long time. I got better, eventually. On the outside. Got a job, met a girl, got married. Did all the things you're supposed to do. But there was something hollow in me. Something that couldn't feel the way it should. My wife knew. She never knew the details, but she knew something had broken in me over there. Something that wasn't coming back. Joey's mother lived another 30 years. I visited her every few months, brought her groceries, fixed things around her house. She called me her other son. Every visit was torture. Every visit I sat in her kitchen and drank her coffee and listened to her talk about Joey. What a good boy he was. How proud she was. How grateful she was that he had a friend like me with him at the end. I never told her the truth. I couldn't. It would have killed her. She died in 1987. I spoke at her funeral. Said what a wonderful mother she'd been. How much Joey loved her. How much I loved her too. That part was true, at least. After she was gone, I thought maybe it would get easier. No more lying to her face. No more pretending. But it didn't get easier. It got harder. Because now, there was no one left who remembered Joey. No one but me. And the only version of him that existed was the lie I'd told. The brave soldier who died quick and painless with his best friend by his side. That's not who he was at the end. At the end, he was a scared kid calling out for help. And I left him. I've had 77 years that Joey didn't get. I've had a wife, children, grandchildren. I've had birthday parties and Christmases and Sunday dinners. I've had a whole life, and every good thing that's happened to me, every happy moment, there's a voice underneath it. Joey's voice, asking me why I got all this and he got nothing. Why I'm here and he's been in the ground since 1944. I don't have an answer. My grandkids ask me about the war sometimes. They've seen the pictures. They know I served. Were you a hero, Grandpa? They ask. And I smile and I say, no. I just did what I had to do. But that's not true either. A hero would have stayed. A hero would have carried his friend out of that field or died trying. I made a calculation. His life against mine. And I chose mine. I've lived with that choice for 77 years. I still hear him at night. Don't leave me. Please. Tommy. Please. And every night I leave him again. Every night I run. And every morning I wake up and he's still dead. And I'm still here. That's my punishment, I guess. That's what I deserve. I made a promise to his mother. You bring each other home, she said. I came home. Joey didn't. And I have to live with that. Every single day until I die, I have to live with that. I just hope when it's my time, I hope he's there. I hope I see him again. And I hope he lets me say what I should have said 77 years ago. I'm sorry, Joey. I'm so sorry I left you.